All right, got a little 22 mag gel test video for you here today. We got these Winchester HV for high velocity. They make two different versions. So they got this VMAX version here. They're both 30 grain bullets. And then they have a jacketed hollow point version here, also 30 grains. I want to get the HE next. I've had my eye on those, so I'll have those coming up at some point. HE for high energy. It's a high velocity jacketed hollow point if I remember correctly, but it's a little bit heavier weight and higher velocity, so more punch on target. But we're going to test these HV, the VMAX, and the jacketed hollow point version today. Nox 10% ballistics gelatin. BB calibration today is coming in at 3 1/8 inch, so we are perfectly calibrated there. Temperature controlled as always. Just doing close range to start here today with a rifle, 5 to 7 yards. Eventually I'll do a 100-yard, 50 and 100-yard video. Check out the 22/rimfire playlist. I've been doing a ton of these. I test them up close first to see what they do. Then we take them out 50 and 100 yards to see what they do further out. So make sure you check out the 22/rimfire playlist on the channel for all the ones we missed. And the rifle I'm going to use today, my Rossi RS22M. It's got a 21-inch barrel. If you want to see the review video on that, I'll put a link in the description. Now I finally got myself a new chronograph here. I used to use the chrono all the time in my gel tests, especially the centerfire tests I've been doing with like 389, 40, 45, and there's playlists for all those if you want to check those out as well. But I think since I've missed like pretty much every 22 mag, not got a single one through the chrono, I've been saying, or at least in the past few videos, that when I get a chrono, I'm probably just going to do a velocity video for everything in 22 mag. So that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned. I'll have that up at a later date, and we're just going to chrono a whole bunch of 22 mag, probably through the pistol barrel and the rifle barrel here. And we'll just make these part of that big velocity test video. So stay tuned for that if you want to see the actual velocity reads on this, which I'm excited to see because these advertise like 50 feet per second higher than what the CCI offerings do, and Hornady with the same grain bullets. So it'd be interesting to see if that's actually true to claim, which of course out of a 21-inch barrel, we might not achieve that, but it'd be nice to see if they're still faster than the CCIs and the Hornadys like they're advertising. But we'll go ahead and get finished setting up here, and we'll send these into the block and see what they do. Alright, so here we go. First up on the right side, we'll hit it with the VMAX, and then I'll spin around to the other side for the jacketed hollow point. Alright, let's see what we got here real quick. If there's anything left, I'll get retained weight, expanded diameters and such, but those pretty much fragment. So there's your entry there. There's from up top. That's going to be what's left there, a little base there. And there's from the side, and now you can see all that fragmentation. Looks like there tried to be a little lead base there with the copper. Still pull out what I can at the end and examine everything up close. And your penetration depth on that, at least up close here, about 7 inches, which is pretty typical for the VMAX bullet. So we'll come around on the other side here and see what that jacketed hollow point does. I'm hoping that one stays together a little better, but it might not, because we already got the TNT rounds, which I've already tested, and those fragment like crazy when they hit. So let's see what this jacketed hollow point does. Alrighty. There's your entry there. So far looking pretty similar. Yep. Well, alright. Yeah, pretty similar. We got some fragmentation down in there. And the penetration's pretty close to the same. It's just a little bit further. So we got 7 inches on there, and it might be hard for you guys to see, but it's right here, just about a ½ inch further. So 7.5 inches on that guy there. The wound cavity looks just a little bit wider. My glasses are falling off into the mud, but it does not carry the damage quite as long. Again, about a ½ inch difference there. So yeah, they both just kind of fragment, at least at this close range here. Let's see if I can get some light on these for you. So Again, jacketed hollow point on the left, the VMAX on the right. So the fragmentation spreads out more on that VMAX, so that could potentially be better. There's from the side on the VMAX. So there's from the bottom side on both, VMAX on the left and that jacketed hollow point on the right there. So let's get these out and see what's left of them there. All right, there's what I extracted, you know, the very end base that made it the furthest of each. So on the left here, we got that VMAX, which, as you can recall, they were both sitting kind of next to each other at about the same depth. And then there's the jacketed hollow point, which came apart as I pulled it out. So kind of the same scenario. I will say that slug is definitely a little bit larger and thicker and heavier. So that's probably why it got an extra ½ inch of penetration there. I don't think there's really any point in measuring these for an expanded diameter. They look to be just a hair over 22 caliber. I mean, unless you want to measure that mangled copper jacket there, but we'll get a retained weight on these. We'll likely get some flicker from this. It's windy out today. Yep, there it goes. Very sensitive reloader scale, so whenever the wind picks up even a little bit, it usually flickers on me there. If you guys are looking to get yourself a little scale like this, a micrometer caliper, link in the description for that. So let's see what's left of the lead. It's going to be difficult in the wind, like I said. They were zeroed out real quick. 7.3 grains. Then, like I said, this one's a little bigger and heavier from that jacketed hollow point. If I can get that to go back to 0, come on. .3, so yeah, about 3 grains heavier there. And then I don't know if you wanted just the copper jackets by itself with the VMAX, 5.5 grains. And then with the jacketed hollow point, 5.1, even though it appears larger. So, I mean, you could do math there, but altogether, the VMAX, 12.7 grains left. These are hard to pick up. 14.4, is that right? Ah, I was wondering if it's because I'm not dropping them at the same time. Yeah, 14.7, so there you go. I'm curious myself, and I really appreciate the guys that stay tuned till the end of the video. It really helps me with viewer retention, which helps out the channel a ton. So go ahead and we'll send 3 of each through the chrono here. For those who watched till the end, you won't have to wait till that big velocity test video. So first up, 3 of those VMAX, and then 3 of the jacketed hollow point. All right, that was 3 of the VMAX. So first one a little under, second one a decent amount over, third one kind of in the middle there. So the extreme spread wasn't the greatest there, but at least the velocity is there. That's not too bad for a 21-inch out of a semi-auto. So here goes 3 of the jacketed hollow points now. And those average a little higher, so I am blown away by the fact that these things are definitely fast as advertised and exceeding advertised through a 21-inch barrel, at least at times with certain shots. So real interested to compare these next to the Hornady's and the CCIs of equal grain weights and the exact same bullet, because like I said, they advertise 50 feet per second lower than these Winchesters. So is Winchester doing something special with the powder or something to achieve higher velocities than the rest? You have to stay tuned for that chrono video to find out, and I'm personally extremely excited to get the answer to that. I've been wanting to know ever since I've seen these Winchesters advertising higher velocity than everyone else. So that'll about do it for this one, guys. Like I said, stay tuned. I'll have a 50 and 100 yard video. It'll be in the same video coming up on these, just like I've been doing with all the other Magnum rimfire, and eventually I'm going to get to doing that with the 22 LR as well. Also stay tuned, like I said, I'll be doing a big 22 Magnum chrono velocity test to see what they're all doing out of a pistol barrel and out of a rifle barrel. And for anything rimfire, including the gel test, check out the 22/rimfire playlist on the channel. If you want to get yourself any of the products you see me use in any of my videos, like the little scale here, micrometer, caliper, chronograph, I use target stand, paper targets, I use steel targets, and way more, even the Nox gelatin. A link in the description for all that. And for things I cannot link to on YouTube, check out my campsite page, which is linked in the description. Appreciate you guys big time. I hope to catch you on the next one.